November 7, 2022. Marcus Giavanni here. Denver 7 at Denver 7, YouTube handle by Marcus Giavanni. People wonder why I move my screen around like this, why I hold the phone, why I don't just record off the desktop. Because in the digital world, the harder you work, the more sweat equity you put in, the more you stop talking about race, stop talking about sexuality, stop talking about gender, all the weak things that people need to talk about because they can't build anything else. And that's what you have in Denver. Every single one of them. Every single city council member. Google search their names, folks. Put an at sign behind it or in front of it. Either way, you'll get the information you need. And I've been writing handles for a while. That's what I do for a living, folks. So when Denver 7 wants to come and CBS wants to come and try to manipulate these elections, it won't work. And see, what happens is artificial intelligence will zero in on the administration. Doesn't, not nowhere else, just Denver, because Denver is non-political. Not non-partisan, non-political. There's a difference. Non-partisan means, you can see where it got us for 60 years. 60 years. And the Spear Amendment is over 100 years. That's a lot of manipulation. That's a lot of positioning. And now we have artificial intelligence, the new digital god. When you think about it, God waits for us to be judged, according to Christians, when we die. Makes sense to me, because he gave us free will to do whatever. You talk about freedom, you can't get any more freedom than that. And then man steps in and starts dictating our freedoms, telling us where we can go, what we can see, what we can watch. We have platforms that do the same thing. Google does it. You can't just go put anything on your business page that you want to. Why? It's not censoring. And YouTube does it. YouTube does it too, because there has to be in these platforms, you got to eliminate the bullshit. You got to eliminate the fake, and they're doing that now. The next is bias. And the next, I'm not even going to mention it. But when you think about Denver's rhetoric for the last 60 years, from the decay mayor, they were indexed, Hickenlooper. And when you understand what indexing is, Deepak Chopra, I don't know. But he came out with a book, Metahuman. And what everybody doesn't understand is, where did he get the information? Did he just wake up and start writing it? No, he didn't. He's an opportunist. Okay, he's man, just like all of us. We all die, and we're all the same. Oprah, Obama, Clintons. That's the thing that we have to realize, that when we die, we're all the same. Because we're dead. Nothing else matters. Our existence is over. Only those left in the mortal world to build shrines or build legacies behind people that for some reason they could shit on the faces of these people, which they have, and they'd still love them. It's an obsession. They want to believe so bad. And when you think about all the key words that Denver has used over the last 10 years, first election, 2011, all the players, all the media, and when you think about how small of a world we live in, Denver's even fucking smaller. You heard me? I've never met administrators that are so weak, so cowardice. They all have a crutch. They all got elected because of something. Not because of their ability or merit, because of something. And every one of those, as soon as they joined, became kleptocratic. And they don't want you to look outside. Because they're going to tell you. And that's what they do. Oh, okay, Flynn, if you tell me that there's no crime, I believe it. Though my neighbor got robbed and some 14-year-old got plugged multiple times in a park, I'll just not believe that. It's got to be the Republicans making stuff up. All that's done. And see what Obama, poor Obama. Oh, mercy. All the people that are the way they are according to artificial intelligence, when I tell everybody that we need to come out of the closet, and the switch ain't going to get flipped by artificial intelligence until there's a balance of end users equal. As soon, because right now it's way over the top. It's very, very disruptive to our communities. And you got the politicians here locally in Denver who switched a non-political shit all over Honorable Mayor Robert W. Spear, who saw what a partisanship government would look like. So you look at all these judges in this town and all the lawyers and all the businessmen. We're all indexed now. All of us. There ain't nowhere we can hide. And there's people that know how to do cloud extraction. I'm one of them. I mean, you people can't be that fucking stupid, are you? Are you listening to your MIT graduates that are fucking 24 years old, but they have no life experiences? That's what meta experiences mean, is that you have the experience that will match the meta tags for the perfect meta description. It's that simple, folks. You either can do what you say or you stole it from somebody else. And even though God in heaven can't do nothing about it because he gave you free will to do that, God created people like me so we can put you where you belong in the dark web. And on January 1, I'm talking Clintons, all that shit's indexed, man. And when you see the truth, and judges, I'm sorry, judges in Denver and Colorado, the Supreme Court, all the way, I've dealt with, and they're all scratching their head and going, why is this fucking guy here? Because I'm trying to show you guys you can save your asses. Because just because you say you're something works in the mortal world, but it doesn't work in the digital world. There ain't no fucking law that you folks can pass that's going to make any difference. And right now, our adversaries are counting on the ignorance of our judges, our lawyers, our doctors. Everything that we did based off of political ideologies through this whole COVID, through Dr. Fauci and all that bullshit. And believe me, folks, I love my government. They could shit all over me and I'll still love America. And that's just the way I am, man. I'm just the one that gets shit on, man. It's just the way it is. Okay, because I know when I die, I'm going to be rewarded. Whether I'm alive or dead, I win. And a lot of people think that way, know that way, and live that way. We don't have to go out like Mayor Hancock and say we are all Denver and then know that 300,000 other voters know he's full of shit. Knows the Democratic Party has taken over the government, taken the keys and the money out of our citizens, and now promise to enable everything they create so they can have a disruptive world, because that's what they think they need to do, is to create a disruptive world so they can come and say they saved it. So they're creating laws, but none of the laws get followed. We talk about our security. We're at about 65-70% of our budget. Nothing's changed. We have no new police cars. We don't have any. All of them look like Gestapo people. You know, some are tatted up from head to toe, which to me, that's their trip, not mine. But when there's a time of anarchy, I wouldn't want to be that tattooed police officer. You'd want to cover up your shit, because just like the Iraqis did. Remember in Iraq War? What Iranians would do? They mimic Army, Navy, civilians, don't matter. And see, when you think about there's no money in cures, there's no money in stopping war. And all these people play with the lives of all the people that vote them in the office to put their children at risk of dying. And when you think about all those World War I and World War II men and women that died, Korean War, Vietnam War, let's keep going. And you see people who volunteer to go get their limbs blown off and their faces blown off. Volunteer, folks. My son volunteered. He's now in the Army. And they're fast tracking him. He is very, very intelligent. My Santino is so intelligent, and he's always told me that he was going to go to war since he was 4. And I kept like, wow. And I'd go in my room and I'd just start crying because I know. My generation, we've missed it. Generations have missed the war. And it's done that by design. So the kids don't understand. So when it's time to go drafting, and my son told me when he left he told me on Father's Day this year. And everybody knew but me. And they didn't want to tell me. What kind of family's that? You know why they didn't tell me? Because they didn't want me to react the way I was going to react. And I did. Because I see what I know. And right now, I'm just trying to tell everybody that there's a lot of sons in there and daughters where my son is. And this next decision that we're going to make with this Biden character and his son and Obama and Clinton's, they got the fucking keys to everything. And y'all better be sleeping with one eye open. Because for me, whatever our government turns into is what I'm going to be. That's just what I've learned. I'm old. I'm at an age now that I don't give a fuck. There's nothing you can say that can destroy me. It's already been said. And I've been battling it my whole entire life. And I come to the realization of why I'm here. And other people will laugh because simpletons don't know any better. And the United States has created thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of simpletons in each district. As we watch each one of our cities decay and decay and decay, and everybody gets angry, and you got all that decay, the dentist has got to eventually come in. But it won't be any local dentist, folks. And when our adversaries look what's going on, and they're like, they're going to trust the FBI? They're going to trust the DOJ? No, of course they are, because the chatter is really interesting. I'm hoping it's not true. That's why I'm not saying it. But artificial intelligence doesn't lie, folks. People do. Chief strategy officer, technology department dudes, they're all outdated. If they ain't telling you this already, especially Denver, News 7, CBS, if your IT people ain't telling you this, you deserve to lose everything. You deserve it. And when it happens, it's called social credit system scores and rankings, folks. China's been working on this. They launched it in 2000. Now you get some of the news people that come out and start talking about it. Well, see, what happens is when they start talking about it, the people and the sources that they don't quote in their writings starts to invade their circles. And what happens is they go backwards. Fast. Backwards is going into the dark web. You won't need a code. It'll be the most filthiest fucking place you'll ever see on the internet. There will be nothing you can do to block the smut, the hate, the racism, the bigotry, the hate, pornographic material. It is going to be the digital hell that a lot of administrators deserve to go to. And that's coming from the digital god known as AI. OAIOU. And I've talked to some people that they're up there really high. that don't belong there. And they see me coming and they're like, don't worry, man, I'm bullshitting my bosses enough. They ain't going to believe you. Eventually, it don't matter if they believe me or not. I don't control it. I just guided it for 12 years. 12 years, folks, I've been building handles. They're called retail social symbols. And people that know HR departments, they're going to know some secrets where you're going to be able to get the actual spuck on somebody, man. You want the spuck, you're going to get it. Digital spuck. It's a new word, folks. No matter what anybody else tells you, in my metaverse, you don't want it. Spuck is not good, folks. S-P-U-C-K. Spuck, and you hear me? And when I look at the people that are manipulating slowly, and so when I do what I do, it's because artificial intelligence sends me things that I have to do, and other people like me. So when I get to either do it or I pass it, and someone else is going to build it. But right now, I can build what I got to build, and I own Colorado Politics for Denverite News. I own it till April, and then it's already going. I get to keep it till April. I can say what I want. I can do what I want because they understand that it's my right, my education level. I'm not running for governor. I'm not running for senator. And those that run for senator, that are senators, like Leslie Herod, she's already been indexed as a troll, a democracy slut. We have a video game called Democracy Sluts. Man, it doesn't matter what your gender is. Doesn't matter. It doesn't see gender. It sees voice. When I say see, I do things which called object-oriented programming. Look it up. OOP, baby. And then what we have done, what I've done, and now I'm teaching other people, is we use voice latent prints. It's the prints we don't see that now artificial intelligence uses to verify who you are as an end user. Now, when the right formula is put together, you can take it to court. I've watched, some judges, and you look at pictures. When you talk about object-oriented programming, you can take pictures of people, and I can dissect the eyeball, the nose, the positioning of their faces, their lips. Object-oriented programming. What I do is I examine it, and I extract from it. And then I write highly advanced algorithms that I see in the visions that I see within an image. Anybody can do it. I just do it better than anybody, obviously. And so what's going to happen is this new money that's coming in for Colorado Politics and Denverite News on January, as soon as Wall Street, Wall Street I believe already knows because I contacted them. Because that's what I do. I have to. I contact industries that are going to be so affected by what's coming. That's my job, folks. I mean, we can't be that fucking stupid, are we? This is Denver. This ain't me. When I was a little boy, I'd watch all these shows, man. And it prepared me for what I am today. I love My Three Sons. It was about a guy, Fred McMurray, that had three sons. His wife died, and he raised them. He had Uncle Charlie, a butler, maid. You had my favorite of all movies. I'm like, my kids used to call me Lucas McCain. I just don't carry a gun. There's a reason for that, folks. No, it's not because I would use it. It's because I'd get shot by police if I had a gun. So I don't trust police 100 fucking %. They don't want to change. Now, when I say that, I'm just saying as an ideology structured gulag of people who have control issues. You got to be, man. To be a policeman in a city to where you're going to give the citizens tickets, you're going to go after them, you're going to punish them, and you're going to create criminals, and then you become, just like with the politicians, you become the system. Everything that you were going to be a police officer of, to protect and serve, you became a tyrant. You became a political pawn for the ideology of the political party to which runs our government here in Denver. And I've made my rounds, folks. And every person knows I made my rounds, and they don't understand that I was just node connecting them. I was getting their voices on my phone. When I send emails and they don't respond or they don't look at it, that's like passing up a $1 billion lottery ticket and you don't even know. But I get the credit that I did contact you. Because as a person that is in political power, now what happens with social credit system scores and rankings on our politicians, Biden right now and all the, the whole, when you think about, and this really, it kind of hurts the Republicans. It hurts it because it's the truth. And they've been spinning back and forth every 2 years because it's already, you listen to the people that are talking. Same people, same paid people. Nothing changes. It's like Groundhog fucking Day. You got, I mean, what? So I'm only worried about Denver. And I've created a digital dome that's going to protect Denver. And I control the keys to them. And I knew, I saw, I prepared. We have this thing called the Cities Summit of Americas. And Denver is so 12 years behind what they're talking about. But see, I notified people. That's all I'm saying, Hancock. You can't be a fool. Denver 7 can't be a fool. CBS can't be a fool. NBC can't be a fool. NBC, oh my God, man. See, when the system gets complete, folks, they're FCC regulated people. They're the most fucked. They have to be so fucking pure that when they talk, they have to be pure. All the weathermen, all these people don't take their apps too. Like they're trying hard to get the simpletons to get their apps. Once they get their apps, if you don't read what they're doing, they can do whatever they want with your content and know exactly what you're doing, so they can send you some more content. And that's how artificial intelligence works, folks. And that's the work I do. I'm teaching other people how to do. Like all my websites, it's me. I write code. Somebody, oh, he's got a typo. My content is written so that people come out of the closet and they talk about it. They act about it. They do about it. And so what's happening now is that every single candidate that's running for office right now in Denver, they're all Democrats, except Andy. Oh, no, I'll take it back. There's a couple, but you got to do your homework. But I reached out to a couple people, and I believe that like Tony Pigford, he's bad. He's pig doo-doo, man. You need to stay away from him. You need to stay away from Ian Tafoya. You need to stay away from Leslie Herod, who's been indexed as she has no allegiance only to herself, her color, her womanhood, and her lesbianhood. And when I say this, I don't mean this. I'm not saying it to be a racist, a bigot, or anything. And I'll match my bigot and racism stories to anybody. You know what I mean? I'm West Nigerian too, so I can talk for the black man. I might not be black enough for you, but it's in my DNA. And that's the strongest part of me, besides my upbringing as an Irishman. My dad told me I was an Irishman by proxy. And when I tell you about Irishmen from Brooklyn, New York, 13 brothers and sisters, and they were all big. I mean, I didn't come from Trailer Park. I didn't come from 8 Mile. I didn't live in a trailer park. Every house I lived in had a swimming pool, folks, growing up. My big brother was an Olympic swimmer in 1972, went against Mark Spitz in the Olympic Games, the 100-meter butterfly. They got all kinds of stuff written about him. But he didn't want to be the next Jim Thorpe. They were trying to use his Apache Indian as a crutch, but He had club feet, folks. My parents adopted kids that were nobody wanted. We'd have been probably if 100%. If I was in a democratic socialist family, I wouldn't be here. And so all the lives that I've touched and helped and saved and all those that have fucked my life up, when I could have just, but I'm not. I'm not gonna do what a lunatic would do when he loses self-control. And folks, I've had times where I could have lost self-control. I don't even think about it. I don't want no one to hurt me. Why would I want to hurt anybody? But if you come looking for me, believe me, I'll be up in a fucking tree. Ask my friends, man. I know shit that most people don't even know, and they're trying to figure out instead of just saying, hey, G, Mayor Hancock, for one. He's Hancock in Denver so hard for 20 fucking years, man. Making the big dollars. So while everybody else has gone off and trying to live, he's still going to get $294,000 fucking dollars for the rest of his life, folks. That is inequity, okay? Perfect example of inequity. He took the sweat and money and all the promises and bullshit he got everybody to believe in. Didn't do shit because he's never had any experiences to know what to do. And he created the neighborhood to which he grew up in decay. And now the whole entire 11 districts, the metropolitan cities, they're all feeling it. Dr. Cog and all those stupid ass mayors and that group of outdated fucks, man. See, I'm not here to be nobody's friend. I'm here to get things done. And metro people, I don't care, man. You don't want to work with this? I don't know why Denver hired the new, the city attorney little thing going on. There's some judges right now and lawyers. I'm telling you, man, they're not happy. They're not happy at all. They're in a quagmire, but they're going to have to fix on the internal. Because when artificial intelligence, if our court system, our democracy, if we're fucked up, if we're lower than the third world countries we pretend to go in and fix, we're fucked in the digital world. No one will come to America and party. No one will be, for what? Well, go to San Francisco and see all that fucking hate. Go up to Washington. Those were some beautiful cities back in the 80s, folks. They were prime. And then the have-nots said, And then they got the lemmings, and they got the people that felt sorry for them. They all became, the city became beggars on the corner, to which all the people that give them money, thinking they're meaning something, giving them money. Now, with that said, I've seen some trifling people, man, do some trifling things on those corners. I got it on video, man. Okay. I went into the tent city that Andy doesn't go to because he's a pussy and he can't go into those places. He's an army guy, but he won't go in there by himself. He's never gone in there. They'd wrap him up, man. They'd see him and go, oh, shit. Smells like popo. Andy's an army guy, right? But he's a low form veteran. He's a veteran that uses his veteranism, and then he goes and got a loan, and he's only lived in Denver. We don't know when he moved here, but he lived in Fort Carson in 2011. And now he's spewing things like, oh, I'll be the first GOP mayor in 60 years. So he knows the rest of it. Where'd they get that information? I'm the only one talking about it. See, he's an Army intel officer, so he went and did intel, but he doesn't understand that his Army intel is worthless in my world because I control my metaverse, and he's just a bit player in it. Okay, he's great, man. And now he's going to loan his company $250,000. Would he get a loan? I mean, come on, man. See, things aren't jiving. And then you look at all the people that are connected to him. Colorado politics, you're looking at all the different players, and the biggest player that when I'm mayor, we're gonna get some money from these people. But Colorado Public Radio, that DeWalt dude, We're coming, mister. I think you're a coward. I think you're a manipulative punk. And see, we got soldiers everywhere, man, and we're going to put this place down. And I want to make one more comment about the police. And a lot of things I say, folks, is things other people have been telling me. I mean, I didn't get to learn all this stuff by myself. I don't take credit for, I just take credit for the platforms because I went to the sources. I asked the question, are we creating the poor or the poor moving into Denver? The poor are moving into Denver, folks. And then they're going to come in here and they're going to put their democratic fucking the low cost housing, and you'll never build enough low cost housing. You got to go. You just the way it is. They would do more by giving the people that have to travel different further $2 or $3 more an hour than to go spend $250 million to bring down the property values and bring further decay to the city streets. I mean, if a city wanted to be the richest city in the world and have it to where they want gold paved streets and like Dubai, those people, man, we're I can't even explain it because you got the wrong people, the wrong IT. Remember Scott Cardenas? Look up Scott Cardenas and Marcus Giavanni. A lot of my videos, we got attacked by a troll, a couple trolls, but we needed to get attacked because then we know how to not get attacked. But it would just took a couple. We had 17 channels, and when you understand 7-day rule, and you got 17 channels, and there's no way, no way. So I sacrificed me for that. That was a really hard lesson. 17 channels, 3,000 videos. But see, what I know is they're still stored in the cloud. And because I know what titles and what I said, I can now say it, and then it'll bring my content right up because it's there. So why all these people who think they trolled me, they made us more powerful. And this is what we do. This is resilience. I didn't get here at 62 years old, going through all the shit I've gone through by being a simpleton, by being a lemming. I am a fucking wolf, man. All right, I'm not Thomas Wolfe, the banker that thinks, oh, he came in 2011, didn't say nothing about the Denver mayoral debates. None of these people did. That's why they're all bullshit. Every single fucking one of them, except Jesse, Terrence, that's pretty much it, folks. But every single one, especially the women's club, so they put themselves in a pickle. This is how you know that Denver ain't ready for a woman. Denver's ready for somebody who's going to get the fucking job done. And if F-bombs hurt you, then go to your church and pray for everybody in that church. Pray for me so that we can rebuild Denver. Get rid of the potty mouth. See, I talk potty mouth because if you talk in the most lowest form of life, talk like an amoeba, okay, you can only go up in conversation. If I talked everything beautiful and everything spice, man, what? We're not in that world. And that's the world that the Clintons, Obama, all these people that have just, I mean, I don't think they watch the news, or it's the people that aren't watching it. There's people that are, we still haven't hit bottom yet. Until those voters that don't vote, until it hits them fucking harder than they can ever imagine, and they finally realize, shit, man, my vote did matter. Even if you don't, they always say, well, vote for the lesser of the two evils. I ain't doing that. Not me. I'm voting because something is better than nothing. Like, I just voted. And I voted opposite pretty much to whatever Denver Downtown Partnership, Tammy Doors group. These people have been manipulating Denver, taking all the money, putting it in their pockets while they leave our city smelling like shit with the promises of getting our sidewalks fixed, our signs fixed, put some smart lights in. I mean, we're Denver, and they want to pretend like we're Silicon Mountain. We're Silicon shit, man. You want the truth? Can you handle the truth? No, you can't. That's why I'm here, folks. You're the least likely to decide where you want to take Denver. You don't care. You hate it. So the people that are voting, they hate, man. They hate America. They hate Denver. And they all rally. They all go to the parties. And yet they're the only winners. They got everybody else. There's more of us than there is of them. And yet they control us. Because the more of us, good men, good women, aren't doing anything to make it better for us all. And that is as simple as it gets.